the book of Micah, chapter 2 and verse 1 in the NLT. What sorrow awaits you who lie awake at night, thinking up evil plans. You rise at dawn and hurry to carry them out, simply because you have the power to do so. All praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Hawashai, Wahara Kakwadashi. Give honor to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect that seeking to be the elect of the nation of Israel. They're scattered abroad amongst the heathen. Some looking like the heathen. Begin with the 144,000. Preachers, teachers, and prophets. Shalom. And as we read, Esau got the power to plan these things and cause them to play out. And therefore, he bring forth laws. All right? He bring forth laws that going into this is the time of the end where Esau is coming down with great wrath because he knows he has but a short time. He's oppressing the people, the earth, and everything, causing things to happen and implement laws behind the things that he's causing. All right? Hey, you can say, this was real. Okay, if you say so. Right, regardless if it's real or fake, these laws that they're putting in place are real. All right? Going to them also being draconian. We're going to get that. All right? Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he has but a short time. And this he is that devil, which goes into that deceiver. All right? He's a liar. All right? Let's get this word devil. Diablos.
Strong's G 1228. Diabolos. Diabolos.
It says, prone to slander, slanderous, accusing falsely, a calumniator. Oh, we got to get that. Falsely accused, a slanderer, metaphor applied to a man who, by opposing the cause of God, Yahweh, may be said to act the part of the devil or to side with him. You see?
Strong's G 1225. Diabolo. Diabolo.
That's the root word for diablos, which is devil. To throw over a cross, to send over, to traduce, calumniate, slander, accuse, defame. Traduce, accuse. Let's get that. What that mean? Traduce. Never heard of that before. Speak badly of, or tell lies about someone so as to damage their reputation. And this is what Esau does, man. This is that devil. Alright? The deceiver, that slanderer. Remember, the devil cometh not but to what? Steal, kill, and to destroy. And that's what they're causing, and they're pushing forth laws to justify their actions. Calumniate, make false and defamatory statements about. You see? So this is a man who's coming down with great wrath to fulfill prophecy. Again, the devil come not but to steal. St. John 10 and 10, the NLT, Yahweh Shah speaking. KJV, I'm sorry. The thief cometh not but to steal and to kill and to destroy. You see? I am, it says I, Yahweh Shah, am come that they might have life. Who? The nation of Israel, beginning with the elect. And that they might have it more abundantly. You see? at this Revelation 13 and 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, America. And he had two horns like a lamb, political system, and he spake as a dragon, draconian. So you see these things that have been set up, that have been planned, and they play out, right? And they come forth with these laws later on. It's because we're not in the stage of them being draconian. They're more harsh, going to that cruel Lord, bringing the pressure down on the people, on the planet, as we read in Revelation 12 and 12. Check this out. So we all remember the so-called stabbing on the train in Charlotte. Come on now. Her little cute self. She's somewhere with a bag, man. It says Mecklenburg County Sheriff says he needs more resources before Ireland's law takes effect. So this Ireland's law. Well, I'm gonna just let them say it.
And so this release of footage is actually coming just as the Mecklenburg County Sheriff, Gary McFadden, was saying today to county leaders that the sheriff's office, needs more resources to handle Arenas law before it goes in effect on Monday. You'll remember the North Carolina General Assembly passed that law shortly after Arena Zarutska's death. WCNC Charlotte's Julie Kay is joining us live from Uptown after this Mecklenburg County Commissioners meeting. And we know, Julie, this law has a lot of stipulations and requirements of various agencies, and that's apparently set to impact Mecklenburg County in different ways.
Yeah, Vanessa, absolutely. Lawmakers say this will help prevent criminals from reoffending, but right now there's not a lot of funding to support that. Now, Sheriff Gary McFadden and commissioners agree that's a big problem. Months after the tragic murder of 23-year-old Irina Zarutska, Irina's law will go into effect. But at Tuesday's Mecklenburg County Board of Commissioners meeting,
so there will not be funding.
Sheriff Gary McFadden says the law doesn't bring the funding to back it up.
Funding and bodies, personnel. That's what we're going to have funding and personnel. And that is what to attempt to achieve success.
When it comes to bond, the law ends written promise to appear, which many consider cashless bail, sets stricter conditions for pretrial release, and expands who is required to undergo a mental health evaluation. The only funding it provides for is 10 new prosecutors for the county and 5 legal assistants. State Republican leaders passed the law this fall saying local government spending needs to be reevaluated.
We're dealing with a local government, really Mecklenburg County and City of Charlotte, 2 local governments that, in my opinion, have lost institutional control of their areas.
But this law will significantly increase the amount of people held in the jail when it's already at capacity. Sheriff McFadden says they need more personnel, but that money will have to come from the county.
Forced to do all this without money from the state, correct?
Correct.
Also important to note, the state currently has no budget, so even if this funding was to be added at the state level, the county likely wouldn't have access to it until a budget passes. Live in Uptown, Julie Kay, WCNC Charlotte.
Julie, thank you so much. Of course, folks at home, you can always stay up to date on the very latest on this story and all the major headlines we continue to cover for you by downloading that WCNC Charlotte mobile app. It's free download, and you can find it on both the App Store and Google Play.
Yeah, so you see the point. How this situation played out, and now they got a law in place called Irana's Law. All right, called Irana's Law. So hey, we're gonna see more and more of these things. Tear attacks happening, domestic and foreign, chaos breaking out. More shootings at these events. Okay, children getting hit. Things of that nature. So they just send back ready to push forth laws It's gonna make everything more and more harsh and harder and oppressive. All right.
Irina's law goes into effect on Monday. That's the law that North Carolina state lawmakers passed after Irina Zarubska was killed on the Charlotte light rail. Carlos Brown, the suspect in this case, is already going through the legal system, but the goal is to prevent things like this from happening at all in the future. So it changes the way the court system will operate. It will also potentially restart the death penalty in North Carolina. But Mecklenburg County leaders say this law does not include enough funding or resources to actually do any of this. So that's coming up on WCNC at 6. You'll hear from those commissioners and also Mecklenburg County Sheriff Gary McFadden. Irina's
That was a little bit more detailed in the first video. You see, it's all about the death penalty. All right. So we know we're in a time where they're gonna start putting people to death, man. That's what draconian goes into. The harshest penalties for the smallest offense. So if you commit a heinous crime, then you already know what your penalty is. Alright? There's people that's coming up against Trump and he's labeling them as treason. If you get in the way of a law enforcement officer or agent, when they're going after ICE or anything, or anybody, or whatever the case may be, what's that called? Impeding of law government official. Hey, that's a cause you to get put to death. So all this protesting and hitting, spitting at agents and all that stuff will change soon. The penalty for that, like Trump said, they spit, we hit. Alright, soon this will be you spit and they're gonna shoot the shit out of you. Alright, and you ain't gonna be spitting up nothing but blood. Alright? That's the time we in. It's possible. But yeah, I just wanted to hit this real quick for this how about Shah. They pray to the name of how about Shah. So on.